Welcome to Introduction to Photoshop CC for Planners. In this video, we'll talk about cutting out objects in Photoshop to use in photo simulations. We'll cover one method using the eraser tool and talk about the advantages and disadvantages of using this method. I also recommend you watch the other accompanying video on mask to talk about another method. So here is my background image. What I want to do is take a person, cut them out of another photo, and paste them into this one. And here's the image I'll be using to get that person to bring into the other photo. So first I'm just going to crop this image just to reduce the size of the image here. I'm going to unlock my background layer here and just use my erase tool from the main toolbar here and erase the background from the image. So I'm going to zoom in here a little bit more. Reduce the size of my eraser tool, and I'm just going to do this very quickly. Not being too careful here, so just erasing the person out from the image. And one thing I'm doing is holding Shift while erasing. And that allows me to click in a straight line when using the tool. And that applies for anything in Photoshop. So that applies for the brush tool or anything that you want to do, draw using a straight line. You can hold Shift and it will apply it between the two points that you're clicking. So again, doing this very quickly. I'm not going to include his shadow here. So this is one of the first ways that many people learn how to mask items in Photoshop, is just to use the erase tool and erase out the background. And certainly that has value, absolutely, understanding how the erase tool works, but when we paste it in we can see some of the limitations of doing it this way. So let me just finish this up and then we'll bring him over into the other image. Now I'll just increase the size of my eraser tool. And there we go. So now I've erased out the background from this image and I have just the remaining person, which I can then cut and paste into my other image. So I'm going to cut and paste in. And there he is. So he shows up as another layer in my original file. So this is obviously one way of bringing in elements into another image to create the first steps in a photo simulation. But let's just look at the quality here. So I didn't really do a great job here. You can see I kind of butchered his foot in cutting it out. Some of his fingers might have gotten cut off a little bit there. And the disadvantage of using this method is that there's no way to get those pixels back. So once an element is erased, there's really nothing you can do to get those pixels back. So if I were to accidentally remove part of the image, there's nothing I can do once the image has been closed and reopened to get it back. So in this video, we covered how to use the eraser tool and then cut an image out and paste it into another file in Photoshop. So there are other ways of doing this. I'd encourage you to watch the next chapter, which is on working with masks, which presents another way of cutting images out that allows you to go back and change the image you've cropped out in case you've made a mistake. So go ahead and watch that video. That said, if you're just in the beginning stages of trying to figure out how to cut images out, try out the eraser method. It's a good first step. Thanks for watching.